for being here. Okay, thank you everybody for being here. Because I know the planet keeps rotating and some of you are in our future. We are in the Eastern time in Washington. So what we are going to do today is get your intellectual input into the program. And I explain to you why we need that and why we want to have that. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I'm going to make it full. So this is your intellectual contribution to Multipod. And you know, I'm the principal mentor and the program coordinator of this program. Before we start, I'm going to tell you something about your professional needs and see if you agree. I took this from Greg Martin. He has a YouTube program called This Week on Global Health. It's when we started the program. He's one of the advisors to the program. And he also has another, a series of discussions in which he can teach you everything and anything you want to know about global health. And not only the subjects in global health, but also how to get a job, et cetera, et cetera. So please subscribe to his channels. Look him up in YouTube. He basically talks about knowledge and know-how. And what I'm going to show you today is where you are. You have a sound background in the sciences of your academic background. In the case of global health, epidemiology, statistics, health services, research methods, etc. But then there's one area, your area of expertise, what makes you different in the area in which you could be a consultant because you know more than most people. And you are a true expert in that area. Can you read everything?
Yeah, sure, you can read it.
Okay. And then the know-how is the experience that you acquire by working or because you find a good mentor that can accelerate your growth, your professional development, and your personal growth. And that you learn by doing. Practice, practice, practice. They say that you need 10,000 hours to become an expert, to really know what you are going to do, to be still. And please don't let me catch you using the term soft skills. There's nothing soft about skills in writing, being a secretary, etc. All of them are hard skills. They are not hard sciences and soft sciences. But then some of you will go into the area of management, leadership, or governance. That's the next step for some of you. And here's the definition: doing the right thing with the right people, with the right resources at the right time, on the right schedule to obtain the right results. And leadership is very important. It's your ability to influence other people's thought and behavior through vision, attraction, strength, and persuasion. And governance is nothing else than the set of rules that you design and can enforce. And a few of you may go into politics, will have the power to make policy changes in the society, but there are only a few of you. So I wanted to introduce you to that because now we'll go to what you know, the areas of mentoring. And I keep telling everybody that Multipod is not an academic program. People who think that they are going to learn public health or epidemiology or statistics with us are in the wrong place. Usually I refer them to other mentoring programs, MentorNet, Global Health Me, etc., which are really, really excellent and focus on that. But we are not alien to the technical and scientific issues. Because if you have something, a thesis on gender issues, your mentor can help you, even if he or she doesn't know specifically your field. This is the great opportunity for bidirectional teaching. Most of our are professional development and personal growth. And I'm going to not going to delve into this because we don't have enough time. But this is what you do: find your job, know thyself, strategies for problem solving, critical job interviews, etc., etc. The practical parts of your professional development. This is the agenda for today. And what we are asking you is, according to the main objective is to review, discuss, and decide on the focus and context of the webinars and maybe the modules. You are going, after you have your meetings in your groups, you're going to predict if we should focus on ideas, critiques, technical discussions, or something else. And then you are going to tell us, we did already a survey on the nature and periodicity of the multi-pod webinars. And the groups are going to be divided into 3 groups, and you only have very raw material that will serve as a basis for your discussions. You will work in groups for 15, 20 minutes. That's longer than the usual webinars. And then we'll join again at the main room to have a discussion. We have a special guest that some of you may already know, Rawan Taha from Egypt. She just published a book, No More Job Secrets, about how to look and get a job. It took her a long time to do that, and she has first-hand experience and a fresh voice because she's a very young person, and she's going to introduce you about the book. Now, we have had a few webinars, some really complex, complexity, system thinkings, and theory U. We have also had some webinars about social aspects, for example, on AIDS. We had one webinar on net weaving, which is a form of hosted networking. And we had one, which is our introduction to the program, the 9 questions about your future, in which we have 3 questions about pathways, 3 questions about opportunities, and 3 questions about decisions about your future. And Ron Anderson, for example, was in charge of the area of pathways, and that's the module that he developed. So you can look them up in our website. And then we produce some modules. In the old websites, we have 25 different modules. And let me tell you a secret, only 2 or 3 people use them. Okay. So, and this is, for example, the basis of other programs. And it consists of an introduction, learning objectives, the support materials, which are important, could be TED Talks, could be documents, etc. And then talks about the activities, how this module can be useful to you. Some programs include 2 or 3 questions to talk with them, to discuss them with your mentor. But again, most people, in my experience, prefer to work on specific areas and have a more spontaneous type of discussion or session with their mentor. This is another one, a more scientific, about climate change and health, introduction, learning objectives, support materials and activities. What is what you are going to do? Now, this is something that I really need your help with. The purpose of the webinars are to open minds, to teach and learn, and to complement the other areas of your mentorship. The justification will be if they have learning value, if they have entertaining value. We don't want you to get bored, and especially if they're going to be useful to you. The format can be a panel, roundtable, a free-for-all, a class or lecture teaching, a forum, a show and tell, or other things that you can think about. The possibilities are webinars that are purely technical, lectures, workshops, get to know each other, debates and discussions, net weaving, exchange of experiences, working groups, etc., even a book club and a salon that we can have. The areas that we have are global health, human development, environmental protection. One which I find particularly interesting is when storytelling, when somebody tells us about her life or his life. Have you met somebody from Kazakhstan, in addition to Dimash? Or have you met somebody from Togo or Eswatini or Bolivia or Finland, etc., etc.? So this is an area or a focus that is interesting as part of your program. Planetary health and welfare, which is a summary of the global health, human development, and environmental protection. And then talk about futuro incognito, the unknown future. What is what you think is going to happen? And this also depends on the number of attendees. We expect Anaili, which is the program assistant, program officer. We talk about that in most of them, we're going to have 5 to 10 people, and that should be enough for some of the meetings. But in general, when we have a meeting like this, we have between 20 and 30. And then whatever you can think. Any other questions, any other ideas that you have. So we have the purpose, the justification, the format, the possibilities. And actually what I would like for you to concentrate on are the areas and the possibilities. Okay, because that's what is important. Now, the working groups, how many people do we have, Anaili?
14 people.
Okay, so maybe we can have 3 groups.
Yeah, we have 3.
3 groups, okay. So please do not worry if you think you are in the wrong group. Let's say you're interested in mental health and they put you in another group. Don't worry, you're going to learn a lot and then you are going to participate in the general discussion. What I suggest is that when you are together, you introduce yourselves, you know that, but I would like for you to say something unique or unexpected about you. We have somebody who climbed Mount Everest. We have somebody who is the volleyball team leader in her country, in Madagascar. We have another person who is the national, got the national award in poetry from Serbia, etc., etc. Oh, the judo champion from Romania, etc., etc. So, and that's why what people will remember about you, that's your specificity. You designate a moderator and a presenter. We are going to have 1 or 2 mentors in each one of the groups, but they are not allowed to be moderators or the presenters at the plenary. Why? Because they have done it many times. And what they're going to do is to guide you and to in some way to coach you if there's anything that is needed, or to add or to comment on what is happening. Review 1 or more of the documents, which are not specifically modules or anything else. It's raw material. And how could you turn some of those ideas into a webinar or a module? Agree on your recommendations, and then be ready to present your recommendations in a compelling way. You are selling your idea. Because usually when people come to the plenary, they just describe what happened. I don't detect enthusiasm. I don't detect that you are really passionate about what you think and what you are proposing. So those are the ideas for the working groups. Are there any questions before you go to your groups? If not, or suggestions, we'll send everybody to the groups, and after 15 minutes, Anaili is going to ask you, how are you doing? And then if you are ready, we'll come back and we have a discussion in which I promise I will let you talk. Thank you. Okay, Anaili?
Yeah, just for you to know, the group A will be Ana Maria, the mentor is Jean-Luc Consalet, Jess Antipolo, Lucia de Andres, the mentor is another mentor is
slowly, because I couldn't hear the names.
Okay, well, in the first group, the mentors are Jean-Luc Poncelet. Okay, well, just let Jean-Luc Poncelet, and the mentees are Ana Maria, Jess Antipolo, Lucia de Andres, Timrak. That's the group 1. The group B will be Aisha, Cynthia, Sentire, and the mentor is Ronald Anderson. And in the group C, we have Antidius Ecundayo. Sorry if I pronounce wrong your name, sorry. Monica and Omar, and the mentor is Molly Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald. Yeah. So you in the chat, you can see the links that are related with the group that you are into. So if you want to copy and paste in case you can have that information in the breakout room. And then we have a video from one of the past mentees. So I'm going to open the room, so hope everyone has information.
And if you go to the wrong room, don't worry, okay?
Okay.
Just if you have 10 in one group because everybody missed it, or what you have 2 persons in another group. So please go to your groups, and I will say good luck, but I know that you are going to really, really give us some good recommendations and suggestions.
Okay.
And again, my last comment is each year we do an evaluation, and every time we get comments and we adjust the program according to the comments. But then there comes a new class, and they usually don't look at the changes that we have made, and then they made similar recommendations each year. So this year we decided, why don't we do it in vivo when you are part of the program? And you can tell us how to modify it, how to make it more interesting or more useful for you. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to open the breakout rooms. You can join now. Miss Anderson, I don't know if you can hear me, but you can join group 1.
Okay. Hello, hello. Molly,
Hi.
how are you? How are you?
Good.
Good to see you. Good to
Good,
see
you
you again.
too.
Okay,
Thank you. You too.
great.
Your fish tank makes me relaxed. I love that. It makes me just.
Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
such a compliment. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, there's 2. I didn't see there's 2, I think. Right?
Let's see, everybody's coming back. Oh, Steve is also there.
Yeah, I think everyone is here now.
Okay, okay. Well, welcome back, everybody. And without further ado, let's have group 1 or group A to tell us who is the presenter, to tell us what happened.
I can quickly jump in. So we were just introducing ourselves, and we didn't even get to the point of choosing a presenter. It was all super interesting, but we didn't get too far with the actual discussion. Sorry about that.
Okay, well, what did you learn? What did you learn, Lucia?
I learned a lot about everybody's background and how, so I think it was Jess who was mentioning that, well, how she fell into a field and then afterwards she knew that it was the field where she was meant to be when she had her child. And yeah, it all kind of like fell into place. And I thought that was very beautiful to
Okay,
figure it out like that.
okay. Anybody else from that group?
Yeah, I just wanted to add about this situation. Jess said that she's using some kind of thing, writing the books and connecting that with their roots, because she's situated in Paris and she just wanted to bring some Philippine mood. So I think it's just important for development of this vulnerable population. So that's the topic we actually covered. Maybe it's not the main one, but I think it's important.
Okay, okay. What about room 2?
So if I may come in, Fernando, we were in the group discussion B, and we decided to go with the all forms of intelligence are welcome.
Yeah.
So when we were discussing our group, we decided, we talked about that, yes, all intelligences are really important, especially in the workplace, especially when we're talking about emotional intelligence. And our mentor Richard, he also connected it with the anxiety, because when you are working, like for instance, in our case, at young professionals, we're just starting a new job, so we're at the same time trying to cope with the anxiety of acquiring new skills, delivering all the expectations from the team, but at the same time, we were chosen for a reason when we were in the process of selection for this hiring, like the job. So we must also bring our own knowledge, our own intelligence, that we're bringing something special. So we were discussing these connections between the importance not only of the technical expertise we have, but also the emotional intelligence, connect with the anxiety, but at the same time, know that it takes time to learn and to develop and get our full potential when you are just starting a new job. And also what Aisha, our colleague, shared as well, sometimes we're from all many different backgrounds, and sometimes we think that our specific expertise doesn't fit quite well in this job that we're working with. But of course, it's just a matter of perspective, because as I said, all intelligence are really connected. And I think the most important thing is how it is important when we work with people from so many different cultures and so many different areas, because in the end, it's like a puzzle. We always connect and fit in. So it was more like this. We didn't have that much time to discuss.
No, but this is great. Did you at any time discuss about when human intelligence is no longer necessary?
No.
You touch on artificial intelligence?
I don't believe, my perspective, that artificial intelligence can really replace human intelligence.
Okay. Okay, so we'll talk about that during the discussion, okay? Because we need to provoke new ideas. That's one of the issues, one of the purposes of a seminar, not a webinar. And you have to defend why you think that, and other people can say, no. You read Homo Deus, and that's what he says, that human intelligence is going to be replaced by artificial intelligence. Okay, so that's great. Anybody else from group 2? No? Group 3, and I know who's going to be the speaker there. Oh, Monica, how are you? Good.
Hello, I'm good, and you?
Okay, excellent.
Actually, we didn't choose the presenter in our group.
Oh, well, you save yourself of something, so it's good that you are here, so you will listen to the discussion. Group 3, Ainhoa?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we were in group 3. Was that our number?
Yeah, you were with
Monica? Okay, yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So our topic was mental health, and we weren't sure initially how to approach it, and then we started posing some questions around where where interpersonal lives with we had experienced it was important to to have an awareness of mental health of oneself and mental health of the people in our environment. And we were talking about how it is important to have mental health kind of like a vigilance structure in the workplace. It would like independent of what workplace it looks like, even if it is a research institute, if it is every employer, but not only just at the employer level, every workplace structure should kind of have a system that helps people monitor themselves. And that's kind of like the gist that we got. It was mainly I sort of shared this this view, and yeah, and then we introduced ourselves for sure. Yep.
Okay. Anything else from that group? You know.
Actually, I think. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, just I think these groups are gonna be useful because, for example, when she started talking, she gave me an idea, and then you know, for the preventive program maybe or something like that. So I think it's gonna be useful, this mentoring program.
Beautiful. Monica, you're where are you? Are you in Portugal now?
No, I'm in Slovenia.
Ah, okay, okay. She's one of our newest mentees. She joined us with 2 other colleagues. So see, let me tell you my reaction. My reaction is, this is good. And let me tell you why. Because there's no way you could have come with a solution. Because this requires time and investment. For example, the Canadian program, they ask a group to get down and design a module. When we prepare our webinars, we have to spend some time deciding on the contents, the theme, who's going to talk, the technical aspects, etc., etc. What I wanted more than anything else is to get a sense of what it is that will be or will not be useful to you. And I'm going to show you 2 more slides, because this is something that I was thinking about the webinars. I don't want to repeat whatever is available out there. You know, there are lots of webinars about COVID-19 and about AIDS and about climate change, etc., etc. We cannot compete with them in quality or in depth, but we can do something else that could be complementary to the mentorship. And I try to, can you see can you see my screen now?
No.
No? Okay. Let me go back to the possibilities. And you can see in the possibilities everything that we can do. One of the groups got to know each other. Was that valuable? Was that something that you say, oh, I didn't waste my time? I met 3 other people from other countries. I know a little bit about them. So is that form of meeting on the web something that you find attractive, useful? Did you do any networking? Now you know where people work, what countries they are from. Did you exchange any experiences? With Cynthia and her group, I would like to have a deep discussion and perhaps a debate on different positions regarding intelligence. Because, for example, we didn't mention emotional intelligence or artificial intelligence. And those are very, very, very important. And one of the points is that all of you, the three groups, focus on the workplace more than anything else, because that's what you're interested in. So I know that there's no blah, blah, blah that you want, except if we can have a salon, which is my dream, where people can share their talent. So we have several options depending on the number of people who can participate. Now, there's something else that I would like to show you. Webinars, as seminars, should be seminars on the web. So meetings for discussion of a subject. Most webinars are lectures, panels, roundtables, etc., with very, very little room for an intellectual, emotional discussion where you can see each other and where you can learn from each other. Disseminate, inseminate, seminal, seminar, seminary. Deep discussions on books and ideas, for example. And then the idea of the salon. The interesting part of the salon that it was women who organized the salons. And people came to and we had that in Spain, in France, in Italy, in Mexico. I remember until when I was a child, we still have salons. My mother organized those. So, and that's for intellectual discourse. So somebody tells me, no, we don't want anything. We want to concentrate on the mentorship. This is extra if you find it valuable. Okay, and it could be once every 6 months, or could be every month, it could be every week, and only the people who want, who are interested in the theme will attend. The last point is we were talking about, for example, discussion of ideas and books. And some of you know that I love, Malcolm Gladwell. I love Michael Pollan. I love this guy Diamond, Harari, this guy Alain de Botton, Kahneman for Thinking Fast and Slow, and then Isaacson that has the Leonardo and the book on jobs. So there are many possibilities that we could have. And then there's lots of resources. We have resources on the website that nobody ever consults. We have a list of multilateral and bilateral institutions, international non-governmental organizations, networks, foundations, networks. In academia and research, we have access to hundreds, if not thousands, of free journals in many languages. We also have access to 28,000 newspapers, to all the ministries of health in the world. So if you want to explore, you can go and you can explore there. And we also have job databases that people can go and explore. Now, our website is not updated because we haven't had anybody who can continue doing that. And now I have an extra item in the agenda. We have only spent about 50 minutes. I promise you we're not going to go beyond the 60 minutes. But we have a guest that some of you already know. And it's Rawan Taha from Egypt. She's now working in Dakar in Senegal. And she just published a book 2 days ago, Rawan?
Last Friday, so almost a week ago.
Last Friday, okay. About her experience as a fresh young person looking for a job. And after 1 year of frustration, she was able to do it. And then she took all that experience and put everything in her book. And it's not a mentor talking an old man like me or an old or a lady. It's a young person giving you some hints, some tips, some ideas. And I'm going to let her introduce her book because that's another resource. Okay, let me stop my sharing. Oh.
Okay, I think I'm sharing, right?
Okay, yeah.
Doctor? All right. Okay, hi everyone. This is kind of an elevator pitch. I need to go super fast because I only have 2 minutes. So I've met some of you before. Some of you are following me on LinkedIn. My name is Rowan, and I am, right now I introduce myself as a global development professional. Some people just know me for what I do on LinkedIn, which is sharing early career jobs and internships and fellowships for youth. But I live in Senegal and I work in global development. I recently wrote a book, which is in my hands right now. It's called No More Job Secrets, and it's about the job secrets that I found along my path from unemployment until I found my way into international employment. So this is briefly my bio. In relation to Multipod, I was a mentee when I was unemployed, and until recently, I was a mentor with the program. So this is my career path briefly. On the right side is my international employment with UNDP and right now with CRS. And on the left side is my education. And on the middle is what I was doing when I was unemployed, which is writing the book, joining opportunities like Unleash, which is an unpaid opportunity, but just for networking and to meet other youth, joining Multipod and building my LinkedIn empire. So this is this is the cover of my book. My title is No More Job Secrets, and my subtitle is How I Went from Unemployment to International Employment and How You Can Too. Who is this book for? Because I'll know I'll be asked this question. So I've divided the book into 3 sections. So whether you are lost, whether you're unemployed, whether you're underemployed, looking for a better employer, career shifting, a mentor, happily employed, a student or a fresh graduate, or looking for a UN job, or newly employed, you can read the chapters in whichever order that you like, or you can only read the chapters that are relevant to you. You can read everything, it's up to you. So I launched the book last Friday, and as a promotional, just as a promotion and to get the book rolling with my marketing, the Kindle book is right now for 99 cents. But this will be, the offer will be down tomorrow because this is not very profitable, as you guys can see. And the paperback is for $9.99 until tomorrow. This is the QR code for my book. It's on Amazon. So also if you search for me, you'll be able to find it. If you want to take a picture, it'll take you straight to the link. I can also put it in the chat if you like. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to get in touch on my LinkedIn. This is also the QR code, or you can search for me by name. That's it. And thank you all. And it's a pleasure introducing my book to you.
Thank you, Rawan. And let me tell you something about Rawan. She's, what will I say, the poster child for a mentee that has achieved what she wanted to do, and she's on her way to do. Actually, I tell her that she's going to have her own school of thought, her own ideas. And that is what we want. That's what we would like to have from each one of you. It's not only the individual interaction that you have with your mentor and the 9 months of your time. Can you stop the screen sharing? Oh, okay. Okay, just a moment. So I would like to end up with one thought for you, with one thought or with one idea for you. You know Multipod as a program in which you are, but you don't know the idea about Multipod, what I envisioned when I started the program. And here we are, 14 to 16, vision, conception, and birth. Time of growth, development, and what I would call the peak. And those were the first 5 years. 30 mentees, increasing the number until 80 mentees in 2021. But now we are in a phase of expansion because we already have a critical mass of young people and mentors all over the world, more than 100 countries that we know, more than 70 or 50 different disciplines, more than 70 languages. And this is an opportunity, perhaps from now on, continue having 70 to 80 mentees, and in the second phase have 800 to 1,000 mentees. But the idea is at the end to have a collective intelligence network. And that's the second objective of Multipod. In 2019, we started with a group that is now called Excellent Group, the Coalition for Global Health Innovation. But it was only young people from many disciplines and many sources. And I ask you to look at their website and see what they are doing and see if you want to join them. We cut the umbilical cord with them, but they continue doing their job. But the idea of Multipod is to have a multidisciplinary, intergenerational, multi-country collective intelligence network. I will not get to see that. Well, I will be in another planet, but that's something that I would like to see that we can start together. And the idea of the webinars is not only to talk about a scientific issue, but also to have your collective intelligence. Think about issues, not only problems that are important for the 21st century. So I wanted to leave you with this thought because right now most of us, when we are young, we think of the next 5 years, the next 10 years. I want you to pretend that you are 70 years old and that you are looking back at what you did in your life. Instead of only looking at the future, go to the future and look at your past. Because in that way, you will force yourself to think about what you are going to do with your life, and more than anything, the impact that you are going to have on the people around you, on the people who don't know you, on the world in general. Well, I want to thank all of you for spending this time with us. I promise that next webinar is not going to be like this. It's going to be a more traditional webinar so that you don't feel that you are taking too much time, especially people in Europe and other time zones, that it's time to go and cook and have dinner, etc., etc. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. I forgot to ask you about the periodicity, but I don't think that matters now, because we can organize webinars, and whoever wants to come, once you know the subject and once you know the agenda, the minimum will be 5 people, and then we'll have a webinar, and we will do whatever we want to do during the webinar. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Continue with your mentorship, and please, 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 all the evaluations that we have done, if you have less than 7 sessions, it's going to be tough to reach your goals at the end of the mentorship. And we have demonstrated that for the past 5 years, 7 or more sessions with your mentor. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. And
Thank you.
Hey, have a great day.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.